Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda. I like to share videos of us starting our homestead from scratch. If you're not new here, welcome back. It's great to have you here. I'm going to give you a quick little tour of our butchering setup 2024 and how things are going so far. We've been doing a little trial and error with an outdoor setup, and I'm really liking it so far, but I think we do want to eventually do something a little more permanent for butchering and meat processing, because we do this a lot. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'll show you guys how we have it set up. So we moved the kill cones from last year because we ended up taking down that whole fence over here, and my husband created this. He saw a picture and he just went with it. So he's super handy. I'm so blessed that he can just whip stuff up like this. But this has been working very, very well. We've done 24 chickens yesterday. We got a late start to the day. Only 24 done yesterday. Fingers crossed on a better day today. But today's my daughter's birthday, my oldest. So we're going to be knocking off early to take her out of town and spoil her a little bit. So this is where we dispatch. Everything I've read, this is the most humane way to do it. The bird goes upside down in the cone, and then you just use a surgical knife and take care of the jugular. I can't really go into detail because I don't want this video taken down. And then this is the plucker that we got. We got a new plucker. It was half of what it cost originally. We found it on an auction and scooped it up. We decided to make the investment, and boy, am I glad we did. This one could hold, I believe, 3 chickens at a time. 2 to 3 chickens, and it can also do a huge turkey. So fingers crossed we can get into turkeys hopefully in the future. That would be wonderful to offer some Thanksgiving turkeys to our local community. And this has a better design than our other one because it has a chute where all of the feathers come out. As you can see, we just have a tarp down, feathers collecting here, the water runs off. It's working pretty good. So hopefully we can just scoop this stuff up, go get rid of it, and it won't leave the yard too much of a mess. So one thing we do have to do is use the water hose and hold it here, whereas my other one had a ring of a water hose and it would squirt it. You'd have a water hookup and it'd just squirt the water for you. Not a big deal. We just hold the hose, which is why we have this here. It's a little shepherd's hook to hold the hose right here by our water, our scald tank. We really want to have a bigger scald tank, maybe one that's got a thermostat and it can be controlled a little bit easier someday. That's on the bucket list of stuff that we want for processing. So right now we just have this set up, a little propane burner, and then we just check the temperature with our thermometers. We wanted about 150, and we scald for about 45 seconds. We kind of just depends on how they're plucking as we go. So as you can see, we can do 6 at a time. We kind of got to keep the heat going and just keep an eye on it because in between birds it can cool off. So over here is where we do all of the parting out, and here's the bins for like gizzards, and we're saving hearts and livers and stuff like that, chicken feet. So we have all of that with lids, cutting boards, obviously, paper towel, gloves, everything like that. We've got the spray for keeping everything sanitary. This is where we have a water hookup. This is just a table we got at Menards. We have sunscreen because obviously we don't want to burn. And it's got water like this, so we can clean everything down and spray it, clean up what we need to clean, stuff like that. We've got the gut buckets. This is to keep everything cold and sanitary and all that good stuff. So we just put some ice in there, and we put the chickens in the trays, brand new trays. And then after that, we get onto our bagging station where we bag everything. We dip in the shrink bags, weigh everything out, and we got these super cute little labels. They're cute, but they are not super functional because they don't write very well, like when you write on them with a pen, but they're super cute. They're just kind of like, they're glossy, so they don't hold your pen really well. So I'm not going to link those because I probably don't recommend those. But I may link these knives because they've been fantastic. They're off Amazon, and they last forever. They don't need to be sharpened very much. So that's what we use, and this is our setup. So now we are going to head over to the chickens and we're gonna get going after I finish my coffee. Okay, so we are back from vacation. I did not get to finish filming the butchering stuff before we left on vacation, so I figured I'd just wrap it up now. There really wasn't a whole lot because I can't show, I mean, some YouTube channels do show the butchering process, but I just wasn't going to do that. I mean, if you want that, there's content out there for it. One thing I thought about showing you guys, I think I mentioned it in here maybe, was how to part out a chicken. So it's like the breast and the legs and the wings and all that stuff. I could do a little tutorial video, maybe a YouTube short on how to do that, because that's how we prefer our chicken. We have for the past like 3 years been just leaving the chickens whole. And then, you know, week gets busy, you want to have food really quick on the table, you don't want to sit and thaw a chicken for 2 days in the fridge. So we are going to leave a couple, maybe 3 or 4 of our chickens whole, and we'll put them on the smoker when we want to eat them. And then if I have extra, then I'll just smoke it and can it, because I do enjoy canned smoked turkey or chicken. Oh my goodness, I highly recommend smoking your chicken and then canning it if you're going to can chicken, because the flavor is out of this world. But I'm going to part mine out because we use breasts and, you know, chicken thighs and legs, and we want to do a wing night and have wings. And, you know, it takes a lot of wings to feed a family. So every chicken that I part out, we're just going to save the wings and do like a wing feed one night with our family. So here is what is left of our chickens, and we did 155 chickens. We counted and tallied it all up. It was 155 chickens that we butchered in 5 days. It was grueling, and I will never do that many again in one sitting. So this is one of our biggest ones we got. This is 6.5 pounds, and she is gorgeous. Actually, it was a he, but it's a beautiful, beautiful chicken, and they sealed up super nicely in these shrink bags. Highly recommend those. This is one of our smaller birds. It says keep because the wing ripped on it. So this is one that I'm probably going to part out. I'll thaw it, part it out, and seal it back up. Because I did research, and you can thaw a chicken. If you thaw it in the fridge, you can thaw your chicken, whole chicken, from frozen. Thaw it in the fridge only, not on your counter. Thaw it in your fridge. Once it's thawed, you can then part it out and reseal it and refreeze it. You can do that. And that's what I'm going to do, because some of these are our chickens. So I'm going to thaw, you know, a few here and there when I have time, and then part them out and throw them in vacuum seal bags and put them back in the freezer. So that is what we've got going on as far as meat birds. The main takeaways that I have are, for us, for our family, with just Anthony and I and one other person doing it, we cannot do more than 100 at a time and raise more than 100 at a time. It's just not feasible. So next year, I think we're going to try and lean more toward doing 2 batches. So we'll do maybe 100 in the spring and 100 more toward the fall. And we can kind of rotate them out if we want to. So as soon as, you know, the babies are done in the brooder at like 4-5 weeks, we put them out on grass. We could then immediately get another batch of meat birds and put them in the brooder while the first batch is still growing out on pasture, because we'd have that 4 to 5 week playtime. So we'd butcher, and then immediately after we butchered, we'd take the second batch of birds and put them out on the pasture land, and then 4 to 5 weeks later we'd butcher again. So we're kind of playing with that idea, sticking with the 2 brooders because they worked great. I mean, for as many birds as we had, they still fit in the brooders pretty well. So if we go down to 100 birds and we put 50 in each brooder, they'll even last longer in the brooders and have more room. The heat plates, I'm not gonna recommend the Brinzy brooders anymore. I actually preferred the Pitalok, I believe is how you say it, brooders, off Amazon. Much better. They are more friendly to use, lifting the legs up and down, height. I wish they were a little bit larger, but for the price point, you can buy more than the Brinzies. So I could buy more Pitalok brooders than Brinzy brooders for the price. So, and they also come with a plate that you put over top. I'm not going to show you right now because they're kind of dirty. Well, maybe I'll show you. Hang on. So this is the Pitalok Brooder. It is a little bit dusty, but I just got to wipe it off and clean it. I'm going to flip the camera here. So highly recommend these. Gonna link to them below this video. It has this plastic, this, I think it's, why is my brain not working? Plexiglass, there we go. I think it's plexiglass. And then that can come off and get cleaned. As you can see, I gotta just clean these because I think I put it on upside down and it made it dirty, but comparatively to the other brooders, this is much easier to clean because the other ones came with like a plastic, like bendable one, and it broke and it didn't work very well. So I prefer the plexiglass. And then these actually adjust by pushing this in, and then you can push these up and down so they just slide along inside here in this channel. I wonder if I can do this with one hand without dropping you. My tripod doesn't want to stay up. Okay, hold still, tripod. So for this, oh my goodness, technical difficulties, please stand by. Let's try this again. So for these, if you just take and press this button, these just slide, not easily with the lid on. These slide in and out, and you can adjust very easily where you want, what height you want your brooder at. So you can go way super short if you have like teeny tiny little, I don't know, quail or something teensy. You can go really, really short, or you could even bring it up and go really, really tall like I did for the bigger birds. So highly recommend these Pitalok brooders. Like I said, I'm going to link them. Now it won't stand up because I screwed up the legs, but whatever. There we go. So these are 10 out of 10. I think this is as big as they go. They're square, whereas my Brinzies were rectangular. And I will show you that one real quick. Okay, like I said, I do have to clean these. They've just been set aside since we put the chickens outside on the grass. But these, you have to spin these. They are like a corkscrew design. So you have to sit and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin in order to get it to the height that you desire. So that is difficult to do when you have birds in a brooder with the lid open trying to jump out, and you're trying to sit and spin these as fast as you can, or you got to try and take it out, but then the cord is ran through there. So I mean, it's just a little bit more cumbersome. So I do prefer the rectangular design of these. I wish the Brinzies, that's a small, or the Pitaloks were like more rectangular. That's the small one. So that would be nice, but you know, it's okay. We can go with the square design, and you can get more. So I could get two probably for the price of one of these Brinzies. These Brinzies went way up in price since I purchased them back in like 2020. So price point just makes more sense, and user-friendly ability makes a lot more sense with the Pitaloks as well. So that's kind of my little review if you want to use these heat plates, because we don't really like to use heat lamps, although we have. We did, however, have to use a heat lamp for one of these brooders because we did not have enough, because they ended up, the hatchery was generous enough to give us extra meat birds this year, so we ended up having more than we allotted for. I couldn't get, I had to order more Pitalok brooder plates, and that was like 3 days out from Amazon for us. So I ended up using one of the heat lights, and we like triple, quadruple secured it and let it do its thing while we waited for the new brooder plates to come. I think I have videos of that. And the birds really ended up liking the heat lamp more than the brooder plates, but I just don't want to sacrifice, safety for, they like the color. I don't know. So I guess I'm going to stick with the brooder plates. I might order some more for next year just to have backups, because I did have one of these Brinzies that I had missing the plug-in for it, so we couldn't use it. We did, however, get it working. We did find a plug-in for it. I think I ordered one and got it working. So always have backups if you're going to raise birds, for either for meat or for eggs. You always want to make sure you have backups for your backups. You want to have backup plates. You want to have backup chicken wood chips. There we go. You want to have extra wood chips. You want to have extra feeders, extra waterers. You want to make sure you have a backup just in case, because things break, things happen. It's just part of life. So that's one other tip that I want to give you as far as raising birds, is make sure you have extras of things that you need, because you never know when you might need them. So that about does it for our meat bird 2024. We are done. We are not going to do another batch this year. We considered it. Let's be real, that could change. I mean, we could, get a couple weeks into July and be like, maybe we'll do another batch, because it's not so bad. We're already set up for it. It's fine. So now my focus is going to be cleanup. This is camping and seedling for the garden cleanup that I need to do since we just got back from South Dakota trip. I hope you enjoyed that video. It wasn't my usual content, but I thought just for us alone, it'd be nice to have that content out there, so that, years down the road when my kids get older and they want to remember their South Dakota trip, they have a little video to show them. I might also do a scrapbook for them too, because we have little train tickets and stuff like that, like little souvenirs and stickers that we got on our trip. So I might do that when it's kind of downtime in the winter and make a little scrapbook of it. So just highly recommend taking vacations with your kids as you can. My oldest is 17 and she will be 18 next year, and then she could be gone, she could be on her way to adulthood. But Anthony and I have always said, if you have a job and you're a contributing member of society, you're always welcome here at the house. If she doesn't want to move out right away when she's 18, she can stay here and help us on the farm, because she is a master chicken catcher. She was snatching up 2 at a time chickens, helping us. She's farming in this homesteading thing isn't really her thing, but once she's doing it, she's so good at it. She's so good at catching chickens and helping with the chickens, and she loves the ladies. And we had goats at the old McDonald's farm that she was loving, the goats and the llamas, and she said, "Can we get some, please?" And she wants horses, and I'm like, girl, don't deny it. You like the homesteading stuff too. But I was that age too, and you go through phases and stuff. So, but I just encourage you to take trips with your kids. Speaking of kids, what are you doing? It's starting to rain. We're gonna have to go inside. Do you want to say bye to everybody? I'm closing out the video.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.